What's up, guys? Welcome to another Ask Matt live Q&A. As per usual, I'll give it a few minutes to let everyone get in here. So in these couple of dead minutes, I'll just say there's a Facebook group in the description. Go down there, check that out. If you're not already in there, that's the best place to ask me questions. That way more people can hear my answers. Is this not working? Sweet, I think we're working. Yeah, we're on. Sorry about that. Still getting the hang of this live stream stuff. Yeah, as I was saying, just to kill the first couple minutes until everyone gets in here, Facebook group in the description. Make sure you're in there. Make sure you're following me on Instagram at Matt Loberstein. I would really appreciate it if you guys got into there. And other than that, we'll get into Q&A in just a minute or so. Probably go like 25, 30 minutes. I always say that. It always goes a little long. We'll see what happens, but maybe this won't be the longest one of all time. We'll see. All right, let's see what we got. Start hitting me with the questions. How are you guys doing? What's up? What's up? Jimmy, how's it going, Jimmy? Yeah, happy belated Valentine's Day to all of you guys. What's up? What's up? Squad. Tim in the chat with the admin status. Oh, shit. First live Q&A anywhere ever. Sweet. Welcome. Glad to have you. Finally caught one of these. Awesome, awesome. All right, hoping to find the right lens. Are you talking about like my product evaluation lens? Or are you talking about my camera lens? I'm not sure. How much to start selling on Amazon? The classic question. This wouldn't be a live Q&A if I didn't answer how much money do you need to start selling on Amazon. So I guess we can start there. As I've said a lot of times, you know, is it possible to start with $1,000? Sure, it's possible. Is it optimal? Far from optimal. I think optimal is at least a few grand. Low end being 3. I still think even 3,000 puts you in a little bit of a tough spot. So I try to say 3 to 6, 3 to 8. Getting into that above 5 range really sets you up because the more you can really give it a real shot, really dive into things like advertising and really go for it, the less risky it will be. Because if you're being so stingy with your money because you don't have a lot to play with, then you're going to take actions that are too safe. And in my opinion, that won't be enough to get the ball rolling. So you need to be able to throw some money at this. First question, how do you get your hair like that, bro? With a comb. I just took a shower, so it's kind of like probably extra like shiny looking or something. Do you follow a plan to launch a product or do you take it nice and slow? So, I mean, this has for sure changed over the years. Truthfully, my current approach is much more slow because I have a lot more products now and that has bought me the patience to just allow things to get traction over time. So, you know, back in the day, we would have these big launch extravaganzas where you'd give away 100 units in your first day and all that, but definitely none of that anymore. You know, there's still so much that you can do just by having a great product, positioning it the right way, having your listing convert well, ramping on PPC really, really hard at first. And then also the other luxury that I bought myself is the ability to cross promote because I am, for the most part, launching products that are related to my existing products. So I can leverage existing products to just get cross promotion from that. So, I mean, that's one of the reasons that having a product line of related products is so crucial because you can do things like that as you add more and more related products and you're not just like starting from scratch every single time you're launching a new product. That said, I've actually been doing a lot of product research recently because for me it's fun. Like I just go down rabbit holes and I'm just like digging up products and I've found so many things lately that are unrelated to my existing brands. So I'm really hoping to get into some new product lines myself, like maybe sometime this year. Probably not like right now, but I'm definitely starting to think about that because it's been a while since I've actually launched a brand new brand. I've launched products, but I haven't started a new brand in not that recently. Let's see. Try to get some. Well, here's a question I could go on a rant about. How much does PPC take away from your margin? Those of you that really know like my mindset about this are already going to know like what I could rant about. I'm not picking on your question. It's a good question. I understand the question, but PPC is not taking away from your margin. PPC is buying you sales. PPC is buying you the ability to make margin on organic sales. So it's not taking away from your margin. It's pushing yourself out there such that you can get sales. So I don't think of it at all as taking away from my margin. In some cases, I'll go negative on my PPC because it's helping me get it out there. It's helping me get other sales. It's helping me rank. It's helping me do everything to push through Amazon system. So in no way do I see it as taking away from my margin. That said, you know, I might spend up to break even or more in some cases. So maybe it'll take all of my margin in some cases, but then of course I'll tune it down over time. But yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of my margin if you think of it that way. But the reality of it is you shouldn't think of it that way, in my opinion. That's not the way that I think about it. I hope you understand the way that I'm thinking about it. Hey Matt, do you do affiliate marketing? Not as a career, no, but like, you know, since doing YouTube and things like that and having this personal brand and having people asking me about stuff, now I do give like affiliate links for stuff that I use anyways. So like there are links down there you can check out what I'm doing, or if you're going to buy any of those services anyways and you want to give me a few bucks through it, you can go ahead and purchase them through my links, whether it's camera gear or anything on Amazon. If you go through my camera links, buy anything on Amazon, I get a cut of anything on Amazon. That's the way Amazon's affiliate program works. Or, you know, if you buy things like Jungle Scout, what else do I have down there? Like Helium 10, ClickFunnels, Shopify, just stuff that I use anyways. I would never just be an affiliate marketer. Like, I don't think of it that way. I'm not like just being an affiliate marketer where I'm just gonna like hawk some products that I don't care about. But when I'm using something anyways, and you guys are going to be using those things anyways and can benefit from it, then of course I might as well. So that's about the extent of my affiliate marketing. Are you going to the Amazon meetup in Los Angeles? I haven't even heard yet when the next one is, but I'll try to make it out if I can. Can you change the EIN number in your Amazon account? Yeah, you can update all of like the business info in your Amazon account, your name, your company. You can switch from individual to LLC. You can do all of that in your account and change your tax, like your tax. You do the tax interview and you tell them like your EIN or your social security, all of that type of stuff. One quick warning, this is valuable. Don't do that too often. You can do it once, like if you switch over from individual to professional to a company, but the more you do that, it's kind of risky because Amazon might think you're up to some sort of fraudulent behavior and it could trigger something. So don't go doing that all the time, but you could do it once. Should my second product be directly related to my first? Or do you think it's okay to try a different niche before branding more seriously? If you picked a first product and it doesn't have a clear winner next to it, then by all means go after something different. I'm never meaning to say that you should only stick in one niche from the beginning, because if I had done that, I would have missed a lot of opportunities. So you should definitely look at other opportunities, but just don't forget to look at the ones that are adjacent to your existing successes, because you are, as I said in the very beginning, you are buying yourself leverage to those next launches by having something related. So you should look, but if you see another opportunity that, you know, is a better opportunity overall, and maybe that's going to be what leads into your second brand, then by all means go for that other unrelated product. Are variations great, and does it help products rank better? I wouldn't say it helps products rank better specifically. You know, so there's two ways of putting it. Are we talking actual variations on the same listing, or are we just talking about different variations of a product? Different variations of a product is great, but in a lot of cases, I would go with a separate listing such that I can just get more real estate on Amazon. And if you are doing it on a variation of the same, really the only benefit of that is because then you are competing within the listing. So you're not necessarily getting like other traffic, whereas if you have other listings, then you can potentially get other entry points into your brand. But if they're on a variation, you're basically just giving a customer more choices and you're giving them a better experience, which could be good for your customer and may increase how many overall you sell, because maybe they really wanted a red one and at first you were only wanting a blue one. So yeah, I mean, variations are great, but I wouldn't say it's like a direct like rank thing. Like it's not like, oh, if this product has 3 variations, it's going to rank better just because it has 3 variations. No, not really. Well, no, not at all. I mean, it just doesn't work that way. Do you do Amazon ads? Yeah, I have a big budget for Amazon ads. That's my main investment into advertising and into pushing out products and ultimately leading to rank, leading to sales directly through PPC, outside of PPC. So PPC, AMS, all of that, that's where I'm spending the most of my ad budget. Now that I'm on page 1, even though I'm only averaging 4 to 8 sales, 12 on a good day, should I lower my PPC from 75 back down to 25? I would need to know how much profit you're making per unit. If you're profitable, I would keep pushing. You need to keep pushing. If you dial back, my fear is that it's just going to start declining. So if things are working and I like the way things are going, I'm not going to dial back usually. But you can optimize. You might be at the stage where you now need to go back and refine your PPC, like cut out the stuff that is not performing well, ramp up the ones that are performing well. That's something you can't do from day one, but once things are rolling along, you can do more of that. What's the minimum sales you need to do per year to be able to sell your Amazon business to someone, unless they want to see 1 year of consistent sales? So you're definitely going to have to be running for at least a year to be able to sell your business, probably more really to find a buyer that will be serious. I don't know if I would even say there is a minimum sales, but something very small is probably going to have a poor multiple, and it's also going to depend on how much you are actually running yourself. For example, if your business is only profiting $10,000 in the first year and you've been working full time on it, you have nothing to sell. So it's just going to depend. Now, if you have a business that's profiting only 20K, but it's completely passive, hands off, everything is being run, then in theory, that's still sellable. Why not? It's just not going to be a $1 million sale, but it could be worth, tens of thousands, sure. Is it, let me skip, looking for some good questions. Matt, if my competitors lower their price and they have better products than me, what should I do? Well, that's a tough, it sounds like they are differentiating better than you are. So that is a concern. Usually I would say you need to differentiate, but it sounds like they've outdone you and they're at a lower price. Now, sometimes a lower price could be perceived poorly. So are they selling more than you? Or are they just trying to sell more than you? Who has the dominance in your niche? If you have the dominance, I would keep doing what you're doing. Maybe you have way more reviews, maybe you have way more trust on your listing, and maybe you could even raise your price. Less price doesn't always mean more sales. Pre-launch strategy, building a list, follow-up, FB ads, and ManyChat. So, as I've said before, I learned those things at scale, not at launch. So I've used these more on products that are already selling, and now I can go back and layer on the more advanced scaling techniques that I've learned later onto launches. So I've never really I haven't, as you know, Tim, already, we've talked about this, I haven't done it the way that you are referring to, which is I've done it a little bit actually. My very first product I ever sold on Amazon, I did build a small list beforehand. I was running this one type of landing page builder back then that I totally forgot what it's called now because I haven't seen it around. It lost popularity, but it was this almost an early version of ClickFunnels in a way, and it had this viral aspect built in where after you gave the email, then it would ask them to share it, and the more that they shared it, and the more signups they got, the more discount they would get. So I did this whole thing like that, and I think it was a couple hundred emails or so. But the reason I don't talk that much about that is because I don't think of myself as an expert at that. ManyChat, I haven't gone that deep. I've been so busy with some other stuff that that's been shoved back on the back burner of something I need to go deeper in because I do love the concept. I know that there's a lot there, and I know that I need to do a lot more with it. But I would say my overview of it is that wherever the audience is, I am agnostic to. Whether that audience is a YouTube channel, a Facebook group, a Facebook page, an Instagram account, an email list, building up some sort of foundation based on what your niche resonates with is ultimately the platform could vary. But yeah, building up some people to be ready for your initial launch is just going to be extra. That's just going to be great. Then you can just offer them some kind of coupon, have your own little launch list. And, I talk about there are other techniques that you don't even need to do that beforehand, and you can just blast with Facebook ads from day one. For example, you can run I mean, you could just run coupon codes on Facebook from day one, or you could be doing things that are going to just build up your audience beforehand. Hope that sort of answers it. Looking for a good question here. Whoa, there's a lot of questions, so I'm scrolling down the list. Do you have employee or you work by yourself on Amazon? So I have really just one full-time virtual assistant who counts as about 5 people. I mean, he is a superstar, so that's the only reason that I haven't yet expanded into a larger team. That said, I think it's a huge area that I have not done a great job at. I think I could be better at building out a team. A friend of mine, Steve, he has like 20-something people on his team. And it's really allowed for scale. Now, it requires a lot of investment, a lot of overhead. It's scary to do those things, but it's probably an area that I've been a little too timid because I have, you know, like, do I want to commit to paying a sales rep $120,000 a year to go out there and try to get my product into retail or something like that? So it's just a little scary. I hope to get to that level of like really, really building out team and doing these things that are, more outside. Yeah. Matt, should I quit school to do full-time FBA or quit law school? You know, I mean, I can't tell you that. Do you like law? Do you want to practice law? If you don't, then I would say quit, whether or not you want to do FBA or something else. Never go down a path that you don't want to do. You know, at one point, like I even considered, like I remember I was probably 17 or 18. And at the time I was like considering like being a dentist or something because I thought it was a good career. And then at one point somebody was just like, do you love dentistry? And I was like, no. And I was just like, fuck that. If you love it, do it. But if you're doing it because you think it's a good opportunity, there are way bigger opportunities, okay? You have a laptop, you have a phone. There are immense better ways to make money than to be a doctor, a lawyer, things like that. If you love being a doctor and that's all you've ever wanted to do since you were being a kid, or being a lawyer, same sort of argument, then you should absolutely go ahead and do that thing. Let's see. Is $2,500 sufficient to start FBA? I'd say it's doable, but not optimal. I would like to see more than that. Let's see. Another question about viral launch. I've made a video. It's called like something gurus won't tell you will get you banned. I'm not a fan of the launch services. I'll just leave it at that in this video, but go search back. I've talked about it in depth in other videos. Let's see. Trying to find some good ones. What do you think about business cards in your product to push reviews, Instagram account, etc.? So you're referring to an insert card, and I think it is great. Whether or not that's asking for a review or just doing branding and leading them to social media, or maybe a link to a website to opt in for their email, I think it's all great. Just be careful with Amazon's rules. You don't want to be doing anything that's too much in a gray area, too forceful, too aggressive. Nothing that's incentivizing reviews, of course. Just make sure you're knowing the rules if you're going to do an insert card. But I think an insert card is a great, yeah, you should do an insert card. We just broke $1,000 on our first product in a little less than a month, averaging 3 to 6 sales a day so far. Should we maybe increase our PPC budget a bit more? Right now we're on page 3. Well, I would need to know how much you're spending now and what your sales are right now, like say per day. Well, you told me per month, but you should compare your PPC spend to your overall sales, not your PPC in terms of your ACOS, but look at your PPC to your overall sales. If you're profitable, I would push a bit harder. Right now, it's all about getting traction. When is the Lambo coming? I don't know. I've thought about it. It's a weird thing because, like, I don't know. There's just so much like weird stuff about like the entrepreneur online or the YouTuber entrepreneur and the Lambo. It's like, do I want to do that? I've genuinely always loved cars my entire life. I've always wanted a Lamborghini. I always had this idea of getting a Lamborghini by the time while I was 25. I'm 25 now, so I still have time to do that. And part of me really wants to do that, but then part of me also has concerns is like, I don't want that to like I think the thing that so many I get so many compliments of is that like I'm just honest and straightforward and humble and normal, and like I really appreciate that. So I don't want to like damage any of that. So I don't know. Would I look stupid if I got a Lambo? I don't know. I think about that stuff. When are you coming out with your FBA guide training? I haven't wanted to hype anything up, but there's an announcement on the channel coming really, really soon. I'll just say that. Do you suggest getting a website at the early stages, 1 to 3 SKUs, or do you recommend later on? Yeah, sure. I use both ClickFunnels and Shopify. There's links to both. I do get a kickback if you sign up through my link, so that'd be awesome if you're setting up either Shopify or ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is great for doing things like kind of like what we just discussed about the insert cards. Like you could drive people to a site, get their email, maybe like register their warranty or give them a follow-up coupon, things like that. Shopify is a great place to just have like your brand's homepage. Like it's good for branding. It's good for showing potential customers that Google your brand, that you're legitimate. You have all your products in one place. You can talk about what your brand does, what products you offer, what your mission is, all of this type of stuff. And that will also work for brand registry. I've never tested it with ClickFunnels because I've always had Shopify stores by then. But if you're trying to get brand registered at the stage of having 1 to 3 SKUs, if they're under the same brand, I'm assuming they're under the same brand. I think that's probably what you meant if you're thinking about getting a website. So in that case, you might want to get like, well, maybe both or just one or the other for now. But yeah, that's what I would do. Do you only do Amazon full-time? Yeah, I've been doing Amazon full-time for, well, over 3 years now. The only thing that I've done other than Amazon in the past 3 years is the stuff that you've seen me do just in the past 6 months, like now YouTube and like consulting calls and my little bit of affiliate market. Like all of this stuff is like my first branching out in terms of income and in terms of anything business related. I was just head down doing the Amazon thing since a little more than like 3 years and a handful of months. Depends on if you count from the day my product launched or from when I started actually trying to do it. Then it was probably more like 3.5 years by now, or a little bit more even. But yeah, roughly. When do you start profiting? After week 4? I mean, look, if there was like a very, very, very clear answer to that, we would have people just dumping like $1 billion into, I mean, it's just not that clear cut. You know what I mean? Like one person might launch a product and be profitable day 1. Another person might launch a product and never be profitable. The other thing to keep in mind here is that cash flow versus profitability. Are you talking about on paper profitability, meaning like you sold enough units today that you're profitable, or are you talking about actually getting your investment back? Because think about it, if you spend $3,000 on your first order and then your first day you sell 100 of them, now you're profitable on that day, but your cash flow is still negative. So like if you're thinking about when I can start taking out money, later, not at 4 weeks for sure. 4 weeks, if 4 weeks after your product launch is going well, you're gonna just be thinking about ordering again, getting more units, or then you'll go into your next product. Do you recommend only using GS1 or third-party UPCs? If you don't know about this issue, Amazon now says that they've always said, but now they've gotten like a little warning that pops up and says your UPC has to be GS1. The other ones are, and GS1 is like some organization, who even knows what it really is, but it's like the official barcodes. And all of these other sites would like basically wholesale them. Like, so they would buy probably 1 million barcodes and then sell you 10, for example. And it'd be way, way, way cheaper. The problem with that is that you don't technically own the barcode. It's registered under the company you bought it from, their name. And Amazon might want it to be registered under your official company's name. So the way I stand on it is that, look, Amazon is not like the intense paranoia about it. I'm pretty confident that's not going to happen. If Amazon just wiped out everyone with a third-party barcode, 95% of Amazon would go black tomorrow. It'd be gone. So that's not going to happen. I think there may be some headache at some point and you'll have to do something to figure it out, but you'll be in the same boat as a million other sellers. That said, the only way to be safe is to go GS1. So for me, going forward, I'm just going to do that on future product launches. It costs a bit more, but then I'll never have to think about it. So if you're funded, if you know you're going to stick with this, if you know this is the product brand you're going to be building for years and years, go ahead and if you can stomach spending that money up front, go ahead and just get GS1 from the beginning. It's probably worthwhile. But do I think you're going to like lose everything. If you don't, I think it's okay, but at your own risk. Let's see. Thanks for all the great questions, guys. I'm glad these are getting so active nowadays. It's amazing. Let's see. Have you seen listings that just launched and within 30 days have 50,000 plus in sales? That does not seem fishy and against terms of service. It's possible, but keep in mind, if you're looking at, say, Jungle Scout, it is just extrapolating the BSR into the month's sales. So you have to look at the BSR history. For example, if a BSR was 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000 every day, and then they gave away 100 units and it went to 200, well, now it's going to calculate based on a 200 BSR. So make sure you're looking at stuff like that. But it's for sure it's possible. It's absolutely possible. But is it likely? That's different. Do you ever take sick days off? Yeah, sure. I mean, I think this applies even to like big entrepreneurs like Gary Vee and stuff. It's not that hard to make it look like you're really busy. Like I don't intentionally ever do that, but like if I make a vlog, you're seeing like 12 minutes of my day. Like so yeah, I mean, I take a lot of time off. I mean, you can see my Instagram stories of me like walking on the beach like every day. So, I mean, yeah, I'm definitely not like working 24/7. I'm not saying I don't work either, but yeah, I mean, if I'm sick or if I just want to take some free time, then absolutely. Any tips on negotiating with a manufacturer? My biggest tip would be that if you want to get the price down, you can always get the price down, but be careful because you don't want them to lower the quality and send you pieces of shit. That would be my biggest advice on negotiating. Lambos are overrated. Are most of your products bundled or single products? I would say most are single products. Some are bundles. But yeah, most are single. Bundles are a great way to differentiate, but I think a lot of people do it wrong. So if you're going to do a bundle, make sure it like is a really good bundle. It's not just like you're slapping shit together. Then it's just going to harm you. But yeah, I mean, and again, I go for a premium angle. Like I just want this product to be this product in a lot of cases. So I don't do like a ton of bundling, but that said, it's not like I'm definitely not saying not to bundle. I do bundle. I do think about if this product would make sense to bundle when I'm evaluating it, but it's not like I have to bundle or else I'm not going to do the product. That definitely not. Let's see. What's up, Sammer? How's it going? A nice shirt. Gotta represent. Matt, don't get the Lamborghini yet. First buy a house, grow your business to 8 figures, then talk about Lamborghini. Well, first of all, I don't want to buy a house. So even if I had millions in the bank right now, I wouldn't be buying a house. Personally, I would be buying real estate to rent out, investments, but I don't want to own a house. And also about the Lamborghini, I think people don't. I mean, this is something I've been saying I need to make videos about, and I really want to make videos about, but people don't understand the true cost of things. The same way I've talked about my watch collection, or the same way with cars, is that people don't realize how much it actually costs to own these things, and it's less extreme than you might think. Now, I'm not saying you can be broke and buy a Lamborghini, but it would not take me very much at all to be able to own a Lamborghini. Like, really, it really doesn't. Like, take that, don't take that as financial advice, but like we can go deeper into that if you guys are interested, but it really doesn't. Let's see. A lot of repeats. Let's see. What state would you recommend opening your business? I would just say your home state. It's more complicated than people are realizing. You can't just like go set up in one of these. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being too, I don't know what even the word is, but I think it's possible. But I think people are not realizing the implications and like the essentially like tax lies that they are making by setting up in like Nevada or something and then operating in California. Because if you're actually operating in California, then that's pretty risky in terms of in terms of the whole benefit of operating in Nevada. Plus, you're going to need all the legal and tax management just to set you up with that as you live in California. So I think people underestimate the complication of trying to set up in a different state. Let's see. Do you suggest helium-10? I know you did a video where you mentioned that it is not absolutely necessary. Any thoughts? Yeah, I do suggest helium-10. If you want helium-10, I do have a link. That said, it's not necessary. I'm like, this ties in with the affiliate thing. I'm never going to be just like hawking stuff, but I do not think helium-10 is one that I would put into the mandatory category. And that's because I'm not like a tools junkie. I think people over obsess about the tools. It's kind of like these like productivity porn type of shit. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but like people are so obsessed with like how to be more productive rather than just doing the thing. They're trying to figure out like all these hacks and stuff. And like the tool, like look, tools are important and they work, but like, you know, what, and I saw another question I skipped about like Jungle Scout versus the new viral launch tool. I don't know. I'm sure both are fine. So whether you use helium-10 or use some other tools, like I'm not super obsessed with that. I think the reason I do like helium-10 is because you get like 12 tools in one. Yeah, it's like a little more expensive, but you get a bunch of other tools. You don't have to spend like, you don't have to like buy this tool and that tool and that tool and that tool. You get like 2 different keyword tools. You get like the Refund Genie tool. You get like all these listing builder tools. What else is in there? There's a ton in there. So that's why I do like it. That said, it's not necessary. I didn't have it for a long time. I didn't have Jungle Scout for a long time. Basically, the only software I would say is mandatory is some kind of email follow-up service. Everything else I would put into optional. Now, there are ones that I would recommend more than others, and I would put Jungle Scout, or I guess if you want to consider Viral Launch. I just haven't personally tested it, because why would I test it if I already have Jungle Scout? That's my outlook on tools. One of those I would put at like the top of the optional list, and then beneath that I would put something like helium-10. I mean, that's essentially all of the paid tools that I pay for. I mean, I have like tax related services and stuff like that, but let's see. One second. How many products would you suggest starting with? 1 or 2. I wouldn't go more heavy than that. You need to focus. You need to get it off the ground. You need to give it its fair investment and push to get it going. If you spread yourself too thin, you're not going to be able to really give it a real shot. Oh, Tristan. What's up, Tristan? How's it going? Let's see. I communicated with supplier through Alibaba, and then they started communicating via regular email. Should I keep the conversation on Alibaba, or is it okay with email? It's definitely okay to email. I usually switch it over to Skype after that initial contact. What if we can't find specific patents? Is there someone I can call? Ultimately, the only way to really get an expert opinion on that is to talk to a patent attorney. You're gonna have to pay probably several $100s just for a consultation with them, but that's the only way to really like know what you're getting into if you're unsure about a patent issue. Why do all Amazon FBA people talk about LLC? I've had S Corp before, and now I have C Corp. My understanding is that a C Corp is really for a business that has investors and board members and all these other layers of complications. S Corp, yes, but what I like and what I would recommend is doing LLC with S Corp taxation. That's how both of my companies are structured, and that's because you get the simplicity of an LLC with the tax benefits of an S Corp. So you should start with an LLC, and once you're making over 100 grand or so, then you should have your LLC taxed as an S Corp. That is my my opinion, which is not an official tax professional opinion. Let's see. Can you talk about UPC codes? Yeah, I did. Definitely, it's going to be a few minutes back in this video if people are skipping around in the replay. I talked about that a few minutes ago. Let's see. What are you using for email follow-up? I heard a lot of people talking about JumpSend. Any thoughts? So truthfully, this ties into what I said. I think any of them are probably fine. That space got so many competitors. Like when I started, the only one was Feedback Genius. So I got set up on Feedback Genius, and I've never switched because, again, why would I bother switching? It's been working fine. So that's what I'm on, but I'm not like married to it. Like I'm sure JumpSend is fine well, JumpSend is also the giveaway service or whatever. So that I wouldn't recommend, but I think they have the email follow-up tool as well. Any of the email follow-up services are honestly probably fine. Like, is it really going to make that big of a difference? Where do you see your YouTube taking you, changing your life this year? I think that like having this platform is going to be the ultimate. I mean, as I've over the years been watching people like Tim Ferriss and listening to podcasts of people that I have learned from, the platform is so important. Like the platform leads you to so many connections. It leads you to so many opportunities. People start with a podcast, they start with a YouTube channel. A few years later, they can sell a product, they can do conferences, they get speaking engagements. So I mean, I do see it leading to monetary things. I mean, absolutely. Like as I've hinted at, like something like yeah. I mean, you guys know, like there is money in it for sure. But that's not like the reason that I want to do it. It's just like fun, and it's the connections that I get out of it, the amount of people that I've met, the meetups, all of this stuff. So I think I see it as a huge connector. It's basically like networking, which is not something I'm particularly good at. Like I never went to any like meetups or anything like that prior to YouTube. So this essentially is my way of networking. Now I get inbound. I get like a ton of just opportunities just coming at me now, so I mean, I definitely see it leading to a ton of things. And that's why I am trying to make it not necessarily my first priority, but one of my very, very, very top priorities. Absolutely. Like I said, I've been head down in Amazon for so many years that, I like to branch out. I mean, I think that's the longest I've ever done one thing, to be honest. And not that I'm stopping it. I want to take any money that I get from elsewhere and dump it back onto e-commerce. Because as I've always been transparent about, one of the downsides of a physical product business is that you have to deal with cash flow. So any additional cash flow that I can get, that's just going to be more cash flow to fuel e-commerce. Then it's just going to be this like crazy cycle, and then I can make content about bigger number. Yeah, I mean, so that's the stuff that I'm really, really, really pumped for. Hopefully that made any stretch of sense. Let's see. Is this too much? I'm launching with 5 products in 5 colors and 5 sizes. That's a lot. Wait, so 5 different listings, each with 5 colors and 5 sizes? So that's a ton of variations. I would need to know more about your particular situation. It can depend on the product. Like if you just want to give them a lot of options, that can work. Typically, it probably wouldn't be my recommendation. I would say go for what you think has the best potential within the market. Like maybe it's whatever is the most popular, or maybe it's an underserved piece of competition. Like you find that there's only a few competitors selling this one type, and that type has the best proportion of sales to competition. What do you enjoy or like most with your Amazon FBA business? I think I like that I'm selling physical, tangible products that I can feel in my hand, that I can personally use, that I can touch. I always liked getting things in the mail, like not like mail, but like boxes. Like I remember the first time, like it's really cool the era that we've grown up in. Like I remember the first time, well, not like literally the first time, but I remember when like ordering things online became a thing, and I would love like getting a package and opening that box. And like, I think I really like that physical aspect of it. Like I can get my hands on something. Like I don't think I ever would have got into entrepreneurship from any other angle other than physical products. Like now that I am up leveling myself, I could see myself going into software, other types of entrepreneurial things. But physical products are they just like, I don't know. I just like things that I just like things that are tactile. I just like something about that. I like that you can get it in someone's hands. People can use it. They enjoy it. It's in their everyday life. I just think physical products are cool. How do you do FBA without tools? How do you what the amount of the product is, profitability, etc.? Well, yeah, I mean, that's why I do use Jungle Scout. But like I said, I'm not like married to Jungle Scout. I do use and recommend it. There is a link, as I said. But the truth is I didn't have Jungle Scout for my first, like, for most of my products. I mean, I was just doing it manually. You can do all this stuff manually. You can figure out the estimated sales with free tools. Like there's the Jungle Scout estimator. Back in the day, Jungle Scout used to email out charts. I used to use those. So like, yeah, you definitely need ways to figure out, like what you said, like to figure out the sales from the BSR. You definitely need stuff like that. But like, I think there's this like over obsession with like subscribing to this new tool that's $49 a month, and then 2 months later this other one comes out for $39 a month, and then you spend 6 days evaluating if you should switch from the 40. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying tools aren't important. I'm just saying like people are too obsessed with the tool, and I like to. Like, I think that's the reason that my channel works. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, you guys, but like, you know, do you want another channel of me just like poking through on the computer, like showing you how to set up Feedback Genius? Or what I think I'm giving you that I haven't seen anybody else giving you is kind of like the over the top, like actual way to think about this stuff. That I think is what's different. Anyone can poke around and show you how to use the software. You guys can figure that stuff out. But I'm giving you like this framework and this mindset and this like actual strategy. And I mean, that's a bit of a tangent, but that's why I think the tools are less important than the strategy. Whether you use Feedback Genius or JumpSend for your email follow-up will never matter to me. Or now that the Viral Launch tool, like, look, if you guys want to use that instead of Jungle Scout, I don't know. It's probably good. If you guys really think it's absolutely way better than Jungle Scout, let me know. Maybe I'll go and test it. But like I said, I already have Jungle Scout. It's already working fine. So yeah, I mean, for my needs, like I don't rely that much on Jungle Scout anyways. I should note that. So it's not like I'm like, oh, I have Jungle Scout and I love it so much. I like Jungle Scout. It's good. It helps me. It helps you guys. But I could do it without it too. Let's see. Matt, I know you don't want to talk much about the course. Yeah, I just didn't want to hype it up. This is actually in my video that's going to come out, is that I said the reason I haven't been talking about it is because I just didn't want, like, I don't want to give away too much, but like, I never want to be overselling to you guys and shoving anything down your throat. I think you guys know like what to expect and what not to expect from me. So thank you for that. But I didn't want to be talking about it for all these months as it was coming, because then it would be like I'm hyping it up, and I didn't want to hype it up. So that's the reason I've been like kind of not talking about it. But the question is, will you include some tips for sellers from Canada that plan to sell in the US market? And yeah, there is a section at the beginning that is my take on what what the differences are for international sellers selling on the US. Now, I'm not that. So that section, I mean, it's a small section, and that is my take on it. But yeah, that is in there. What's up? I think somebody is impersonating someone in the chat. That is odd. Is your biggest selling product a niche product or a private label product that has your brand and better quality than what competition has? A niche product or a private label product? I mean, it's essentially private label, but I have differentiated it. So and it is a better version of what the competition has. I guess that would answer the question. Yeah, Sammer is Canadian. Yeah, Sammer could definitely chime in on the Canadian issues, I'm sure. I plan to launch 2 products next month. Since I'm new to the industry, how do you deal with returns? Do you receive them at your personal address, or do you ask Amazon to destroy them? Personally, I just have them, at the beginning, I would have them sent back to me. This is actually a good tip. I would have them sent back to me so I could figure out what was going wrong. But once you sort of know what's going on, now I just leave them at Amazon and they just dispose them. If you had a very, very high price product, you could potentially like repackage and even send them back if nothing was actually wrong. How many products do you currently have? I have over 35 listings. If you include like color variations, which I'm not, then it's probably like, I don't even know, I'd have to count it up, but probably probably 50 or 60 then if I'm counting like all of the individual different variations. But yeah. Let's see. I scrolled down a lot and now I actually caught up. Sweet. We'll wrap it up in, oh my God, I went longer than I thought. I always do this. You guys just give me such good questions. The BitConnect comment. Yeah, I'm not going to comment ever on anybody else's anything that they are selling or promoting. That's not my style. So whatever else is out there, that's cool. But this is not meant to be the announcement one. I have an announcement video about the thing that's coming. That's coming out. The announcement is coming out in a few days. So just wait for that. But it's going to be available really, 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 really soon. And I'll just say this and that's it, is that I've put a ridiculous amount of time and care and thought into making this so over the top valuable. I mean, literally months and months and months. It's not something very quick. That's all I'm going to say for now. I've been planning this like release video, so I already said too much. But please give that one a watch, because I really want you guys to hear like how much I thought about even how to tell you guys, because like I said, I never want anything to be oversold. I think that's such an issue, is like just the overselling of stuff like that. So my true goal is to just give you way more value with it than you'll ever be paying for it. So that's all I'll say for now. But the video with more details is coming very, very, very soon. What kind of pomade do you use? I use organic coconut oil because I am a freakazoid and I avoid chemicals. Not sure what that's talking about. What do you think about cryptocurrency? I'm a big fan. I first bought, and you guys are going to think I have a lot. I don't. I have almost none because I screwed up immensely a long time ago. So I first bought cryptocurrency in early 2013. So yeah. So that hurts. Basically, long story short, I didn't have money back then. I put in, not that much, hundreds of dollars, nothing crazy. Had I just not touched it, it would have been worth quite a lot now. But I day traded it like a moron and lost literally almost all of it back then because I didn't know what I was doing. So then I was left with basically pennies, which then 100x'd into like, nothing basically. But yeah, I'm a fan of it in the long term. Like, everyone thought it was over when it crashed from 1,000 back to 100. And then everyone thought it's over when it crashed from 20,000 back to 8,000. So, I mean, if I've learned anything about business, it's that things take longer to play out than it first seems. So I don't think it's anywhere near over. Did Matt become an influencer? I was just thinking about, well, I'm really going to wrap this up in a second, but I don't know. I want to have influence, but I don't want to be an influencer. I think that's like a weird title, but I definitely want to have influence. I am in China. Can I sell Amazon USA? Yes, you can to that one. How can you recommend to do that process, like taxes and USA address? You can sign up with a foreign address to your Amazon account. You don't need a US address. You can set up as a foreign company. Now you might want to talk to people that have more experience with international selling on Amazon than I do because I'm in the US. But my understanding is that there could be some potential benefits to setting up in the US, but you absolutely can set up outside the US and just sell in the US. So that would be, to me, if I was doing it, that's like the easiest, clearest path to get going. So then taxes are going to be based on your own country's taxes. Where can I get Gary V's shirt? I don't know if he's still selling all of these. Last I saw, his good designs went away, but it's at like GaryVshop.com. You should do a video on product research for beginners. Yeah, I've been asked to do the over-the-shoulder type stuff. I like giving that broad, like, how to think about it. I might do some more tactical stuff if enough people ask for it, but I think that I think what I'm doing is more valuable. So, you know, take that and then dive in on your own. Okay, really gonna wrap up in just a second. All right, guys, I'm just gonna wrap up right there. Thanks so much. That's all I got. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you guys in the